Hello and welcome to everyone. Today our guest is, well, I'm free to say, the legend of this sport, the legend of UFC. It's Sam Alvey. Sam, thank you so much for accepting the interview. Can you please put a brief introduction? I know you've been everywhere, you fought in many various promotions, but what can you say about yourself in like 5 sentences?
Hey, I'm Smiling Sam Alvey. I've been at the UFC for about 7 years now, and I really love fighting.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that. It's really, really awesome. When did you start training MMA, and which was your first martial art?
Yeah, so I started training about 14 years ago. I started fighting about 15 years ago. I never really had a martial art. I just kind of got in the cage and fought. To this day, I do jiu-jitsu now, and I do a little bit of everything, but that's all fairly recent. The first 4 or 5 years of my career, it was just getting into a cage and swinging really hard.
Wow, it was really, really awesome. So, how would you describe your fighting style? Are you now a mixed martial artist or?
Yeah, I'm a fighter's fighter. Like I wouldn't say I'm jujitsu. I wouldn't say I'm boxing or Muay Thai or any of that. I simplify it. I hit really hard, and my whole goal is to try and hit you really hard. All my movements, all my everything. I just want to make contact.
Can you please elaborate the meaning of your nickname?
I'm Smiling Sam. My name is Sam, and I like to smile. So I think my dad picked the nickname probably, I don't know, 13 or 14 years ago. I was turning pro, and we needed something to become more memorable with, and so my dad came up with Smiling Sam, and it's been that way ever since.
From 1 to 10, how would you rate the importance of nickname in professional sports, professional MMA?
Uh, I'll put it at a 6. It helps people remember you a lot more, but it doesn't help you fight any better. And at the end of the day, fighting well is how you do well.
Yeah, I agree. All right. What can you say about your first professional fight? But just first, when you fought for the first time ever.
All right, so my first amateur fight, some guy called and said, "Hey, you want to fight in the cage?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, sure." And I just went out and did it. I hadn't trained anything. I'd never been in a fight before. I almost won, but I didn't know the rules, so then I lost. And that was just kind of hooked. I got beat up in the second round, and ever since then, I was hooked. I was dedicated to doing it.
And the first professional fight? Was it
First,
pretty much different or? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, the first professional fight was about 4 or 5 months later. Um, and it was no different for me. I still wasn't really training, but they said they'd pay me $250 if I did it. So I said, okay, that's good enough for me. And so I went out there and I got a Kimura or an Americana, one of the two. I don't remember at this point, but I went out and I submitted them in the second round.
Uh, what are how to say? I know you've been everywhere in every promotion. I know you've trained everywhere. But right now, who are your coaches, sparring partners?
Yeah, my coach is Tom Galicchio. He's been a coach and a training partner of mine for a long time. Jared Bandera, who just won on the Contender Series a few days ago, he's a big training partner of me. Mine, Dan Henderson, he's a training partner and coach of mine. Jamal Pogus and Dom Reyes. I've Sean Strickland. I've just had a million different people in my corner and helping me get to where I'm at.
Yeah, send my greetings to Jared. I watched his fight. I was pretty much impressed. I didn't expect first round stoppage, to be honest. I was thinking he'll win by stoppage, but probably round 3 potentially, because I know a lot about his opponent, and it was a great performance anyway. What are your thoughts on Gerald Mershart? You fought him on 2 occasions.
Gerald's a good guy. He's a good striker, good grappler. Had a lot of fun fighting him, and I like watching him fight in the UFC to this day.
I've seen one of your fights being stopped due to rainfall. Well, it's kind of very much original.
Yeah, it was an outdoor fight, and I was the main event. It started raining during the co-main event, and so we were told, hey, the fight's not going to count, but if you guys still go out and do it, we'll give you an extra $500. So me and Paul Bradley, we said, let's do it. We went out there and we just fought in the rain.
So how is it to fight in the rain? Is it difficult or?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. We couldn't stand up. Our feet were just out of us the entire fight. It was like on a slip and slide. It was like there was soap in the ring. I wouldn't recommend it.
So you can't finish the opponent in the rain, right?
No, it's not going to be easy to finish anybody in the rain.
Yeah, I assume. Well, you've been everywhere. Anyway, what can you say about your Bellator season 5? How did it go for you?
Bellator, I won one and lost one. It was fun. I was glad I got to be part of it. And I don't know. It was a good experience. I'm glad I got to say I fought for Bellator.
You were former MFC champ, right?
Yes.
How would you rate?
I think I've got 5 fights with the MFC, and I loved the promotion. I loved the way they took care of us. It was really a great promotion, great way to fight.
How would you rate MFC as a promotion?
It was one of the best promotions in the world. It was a true world championship I won with them. They went out of their way to bring up the best they could find, and it was a phenomenal organization that I was lucky to fight for.
Who was your most difficult opponent before UFC?
Caleb Nelson. He was my first loss as a professional, and it was 4 rounds, and we just beat the hell out of each other. And I ended up losing, but it was my first professional loss, and I learned a lot from it.
How did your UFC debut go? How did you feel heading into the greatest promotion on the planet?
I was cool as a cucumber walking into it. It was an okay fight. I ended up losing the decision, but I almost won in the 3rd round. It was close to getting that stoppage.
So, Dylan Andrews was your first UFC win. You won via knockout. I am a big fan of UFC, and to be honest, Dylan Andrews was very good at that time. I was following him, and he was very, very good. And you kind of stopped him very much early on. How did you stop him? What was the tactics?
Yeah, he was trying to suplex me, so I locked his leg, and so as he was falling, I ended up falling on his head, which just about knocked him out. As soon as we hit the ground, I felt his grip loosen, so I flipped real quick, and I finished him off with my hands.
Yeah, excellent. Really much excellent. Your victory over Dan Kelly is the fastest win of your career in the UFC, right? 49 seconds?
Yeah, I think that's the fastest one in the UFC.
So yeah. That is. Alright, what are your thoughts on Derek Brunson? I mean, he's another big name you fought.
Derek Brunson was great. Very, very talented fighter. I know he's doing really well right now. He's very fast, good wrestler, strong hands. He was the real deal.
Nate Marquardt was the cardio machine at his time, and you defeated him via unanimous decision. What was the secret behind that victory?
The same secret as you. And Nate Marquardt happened to do that. He was the toughest fight I think I've ever had, but it was a great victory.
Yeah, but really great, really great. How did you knock out Marcin Prachnio?
He was marching at me. He was marching at me, and so I had a quick counter hook, and that caught him the first time, and then I believe it was a step back cross that finished him off.
Your fight against Ryan Spann was one of the closest fights ever seen. Honestly, I thought you won 2 rounds in that fight. What do you think about your performance against Ryan Spann?
I thought I did really well. Honestly, my last 2 fights might have been the best fights of my career. I came out and did everything I wanted to do, and the judges just really don't want me to win. I think it might be my red hair. They don't like my gingerness.
Yeah, agree, definitely. What was your game plan for Dawn Jung fight? Some people were saying that Dawn Jung is very strong in round 1, maybe round 2. Knowing Dawn Jung, he is machine in round 1, but as the fight progresses, he is weaker and weaker. So it was seen in the fight against you.
I wanted him to back up. I want everything I did. He fights poorly going backwards. So he always comes out and takes the center of the cage, and that's going to be his spot. But if I can get him walking backwards, I'll be able to hit a lot more. And I felt like I did a lot of that. I landed uppercuts. Got him walking backwards for a lot of the fight.
Excellent, but in the end it ended in a draw. Do you have somebody locked in right now for your next fight?
No, I don't have anything lined up. No, nobody's locked in just yet. Hopefully we'll get something lined up soon.
Alright, I would like to say thanks for this interview. Sam Alvey, thank you so much for this amazing interview, it was great.